Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Rachel Klein and I will be your presenter here for the next 20 minutes. Today we're going to be discussing specifically in donations how to create your new pledge campaign for next year, and then also how to handle any prepaid donations that come in for their next year's pledge. All right, let's get started. So I have donations open. The first thing we're going to talk about is your pledge campaign. So there's a couple different ways you can create your new pledge campaign for 2023. You can get to it right here in the middle, this quick link button, pledges, or you can come up to the top and go to accounts and pledges and then pledges. Takes you to the exact same place, doesn't matter which button you click. But we're going to stay here on the campaign pledges tab. So anytime you have a pledge drive in your church or some organized campaign, you want to make sure you create the campaign first here, and then you add the pledgers to the campaign itself. So creating a campaign can be done one of two ways. You can hit the little green plus sign and you can sorry, I can't type. You can create your campaign from scratch. So after you hit the green plus sign, put in the name. I like to put the date in the name as well for easy access and knowing what year I'm referring to. And then you have to pick the account people are going to be pledging towards. Make sure the start date and end date are what you want. You can have multi-year campaigns if you wish. And then you can set a default frequency and amount. So if everybody's going to be pledging, I don't know, 25 bucks a month or something, you can set up the default. So when you go to add your givers, it's going to automatically fill in that amount and or that frequency for you if you want. Okay, then you hit add givers, the screen unlocks, and then you can simply come through here and choose your person, how much they've pledged, what their pledge frequency is. You have a lot of options in here, and then add that giver to the campaign. So as those pledge cards come in or as you're notified of what someone is going to be pledging for next year, you can come in here and continue to add your people in. Now, another option, if you typically have pledgers who pledge every year and they pledge a similar amount, you can copy a previous campaign. So if we come back in here to pledges and we pull up our 2022 campaign, whoops, that's not the one I want, general fund, there it is. You can see the date range is for 2022, but we have a decent amount of pledgers here. We can simply take these pledgers and copy them to the pledge for 2023. So I'm going to hit copy campaign. I'm going to put in my new campaign name. Make sure my date range are correct. It's automatically going to jump up to the next year for you, but you can customize or change and hit OK. Now I have my same pledgers with their same amounts, but if you look up to the top, my account is still general fund, but my date range is now for 2023. Okay, so it's very easy to create a campaign just by a copy. Now, you can still come down here and change these amounts. Okay, so these blue amounts, these are calculated for you based on the white fields. Okay, so if I were to come in here and let's say the Bells increased their pledge for 2023, I can click right here on their amount per frequency and put it up to $200 a week. Once I tab, it refreshes the screen and now their pledge increased to $10,400, okay? If you have a new person, same thing, use the giver field up here. Enter their name. Whoops, Lucy's already in there. Let's try Carolyn. How much? We'll say $5,000. It'll be flat and we're going to add it to the campaign. So now Carolyn is in here. Now, if you have someone who pledged last year, maybe they passed away, maybe they left the church and they don't have a pledge this year, it's very simple to come in here on this line. Let's say Penelope is gone. Follow it to the right, hit the minus sign, agree to this message, and now Penelope is removed from the pledge campaign. Okay? You can also print a report down here at the bottom. This is going to take you to our campaign comparison report. Very simple report to pull. If you just hit print, you're going to get some pretty good information here with that report. Really basic stuff, okay? And again, you can customize the report if you want to by going through the tabs across the top. All right, so that is how you create your campaign for 2023. Okay, now let's talk about how to get those prepaids in. So we're specifically going to use 2 people for our example. We're going to work with the Bells, and then I popped myself down here too. Okay, so we're going to use these 2. We're going to say Rachel and William both prepaid a part of their pledge for next year. Okay, so they can give the whole thing. They can do a piece of it. It is up to you. But I'm going to show you how to enter that gift in the current period because they're going to be giving it in the period of 2022. So their taxes, for tax purposes, it's going to show up on their 2022 statement, but they want that amount to credit or go towards their 2023 pledge. Okay? Something I want to make sure we talk about first. In the contributions module, so if you have been around with Church Windows for a while, you might be familiar with the old contributions module, which donations replaced, okay? In contributions, you had to use a giving account called prepaid pledges. In donations, you do not want to use a giving account called prepaid, okay? And let me show you why. I think it's a little easier to show you. So if you have a giving account called prepaid pledges, make that inactive or just simply don't use it. That is not how you enter prepaids now in the donations module. Okay, so let's put last Sunday's date in here. We're going to go with October 30th. I'm going to choose the Bells first. Here's Bill. I'm going to say how much he gave. Let's say he gave $5,000. We're going to put his check or payment method in just like we normally would. And if we look down here, you can see that because we have our giving distribution set to according to pledge, it's going to automatically pull up Bill's pledge based on the period or the date range that we're entering the gift for. Okay, so if I were to post this as is, this $5,000 would go to his current pledge. Okay, we don't want it to go to his current pledge. We want it to go to 2023. So what you'll do is you'll hit the down arrow, and you're going to start scrolling all the way down towards the bottom of your accounts. And the first pledge range you're going to see is General Fund 2023. Okay, so this is how you tell the software you have a prepaid coming in. The donation date is in 2022, but we're crediting their General Fund pledge for 2023. Okay, if you ever go to enter somebody and you're like, gosh, I don't have a 2023 down there, that means you don't have a pledge entered for them yet. Okay, so you have to get their pledge in first to be able to prepay it. Okay, so I'm going to hit done, add to batch. It's going to tell me I selected a pledge in the future. That's okay because they're prepaying. And now Bill Bell popped down here. Now let's go to me, do Rachel. Same situation. Let's do $500. We'll do another check here. And again, it defaulted to my current pledge. I don't want it to go to my current pledge, so I hit the down arrow. I scroll down, 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 and I'm going to see 2023. And I'm going to select that, and I'm going to post it, okay? So pretty simple. Now, if you want a report of this, if we come down here and we hit print, do show detail. On the columns tab, if you want to see what pledge year those prepaids went to, you have to move this pledge column over to the right. Okay, this is pretty important. Make sure that pledge column is moved over to the right and is included on the report. Then when you hit print, not only are you going to see the giving account, which is the general fund that we selected, but now it's going to decipher which gifts are for the next year and which ones aren't, because you're going to have this future year here. Okay. All right, little trick there. So let's close this and we're going to post these. totaling, but yep, that's perfect. Do I want to print it? Nope, not going to print it right now. Okay, so we've posted our prepaids. Now I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. Now I want to show you something else. If you are using accounting, I'm now on page 6. In accounting, you need to make sure you set up a prepaid liability account, okay? So let's jump over to accounting. And I'm going to pull up my chart of accounts for you here. And as you can see, if I scroll down through my chart of accounts under liability, I have this prepaid pledges pass-through account set up. Okay, so the way this works, and I'll show you in a minute so you can see it as well. Whenever a prepaid is entered, the software is going to automatically grab this prepaid liability account as the credit account when it transfers it over to accounting. Okay, so what that means is that typically when someone gives to general fund, you have your debit and your credit. Your debit's typically your asset, your credit's going to typically be an income account for general fund. But because it's a prepaid, we don't want it to show up as income yet until 2023. So that's why when you do the transfer, your credit account is going to be this holding tank, this liability tank called prepaid pledges. It's going to sit there through the end of the year. Then when you create your 2023 accounting year and you update your beginning balances, this balance is going to come with you into this same prepaid pledges liability account. And then once you hit the new year, that's when you do your journal entry to move the money out of the liability and show it as income into whatever income account you choose. Okay, that's all written out here in this document too on page 6. So refer to that if you need help or call us, of course. But let me show you now how the transfer is going to actually look. Let's jump back to donations. And I'm going to show you where you set up that prepaid credit account. So if you go up to special functions and you go to link to accounting, I already did this earlier, but I'm going to show it to you. Right here at the top is our general fund. This is the account people are going to pledge to, okay? Your debit account, same as it was. This is your bank account. Credit account, here's the default. But here's where you put in that prepaid pledges liability, okay? So anytime you have an account people are pledging to and they're going to prepay to, you can come in here and fill in this prepaid pledges account. And the program is smart enough to know, okay, this is a prepaid. I need to credit this liability account instead of the default income account. Okay. I hope I'm explaining, not over explaining this to you, but I want to make sure I'm being clear. So now when you go up and you go to transfer to accounting, you're going to see on 10/30, that date that we chose, if I hit the little plus sign next, it's going to show me the transfer details. My giving account still general fund, my amount is still correct. It's marking it, yes, it's a prepaid. And now it's showing my debited account, which is my asset as it should. But now my credit account, it automatically chooses that prepaid for me. So you don't have any manual selection you have to do here on the transfer. Okay? Then you just post it as you would any other batch. And instead of showing up as income, it's going to show up in that liability account. Okay. I hope that's clear for you guys on the transfer. Okay. So the money is still showing up in donations. People are still going to have this appear on their donation statement and donations. Okay. Let me show you someone's 2022 and 2023 donation statement. So let's click through here. Sorry, it's a little slow, guys. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to go with the template windowed envelope. That seems to be the most popular one of people I talk to. I'm going to check William, and I'm going to find myself in the list, unless I'm not checked gives to receive statement, which doesn't look like I am, so that's why I'm not here. Okay, let's hit print. So as you can see on the Bell statement, here is their gift. Okay, they are getting credit for this gift because they gave it actually on October 30th. But if you look down here at the bottom in the detail, this is where the breakdown really happens. So here's their pledging that came in for 2023, but now they have a line for 2023, okay? And this is where you can see under the amount given, there's that $5,000. Pretty sweet. All right, now let me show you what their 2023 statement is going to look like. Change this 2023. Perfect. Hit next. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I need to change it to all under giving include because obviously nobody's given yet in 2023. And uncheck print for all. I'm going to check the bells and I'm going to print theirs. So now, if we look at their statement, you can see here's how much, or the year, I'm sorry, 2023. That's what we're focusing on for this statement. Here's their pledge information. But in the prior giving column, now you see how much they gave. If you look up to the top right, it's not part of their total given because it showed up on their statement for 2022. But now it's showing up in the prior giving for 5,000, and then that is going to be put towards your over under as well. Okay. All right, folks, that's everything I wanted to show you for today.